So guys, today we are looking at attack angle at impact, but what influences it? We've got a shallow to steep downswing or a steep to shallow. What does that actually mean? Let's get stuck into this in the video and show you what they mean and how this can help you improve your game. So we're talking about a shallow attack angle. What is a shallow attack angle? Well, a shallow attack angle means that when we're coming into the ball, we're taking very little divot, picking it off the top and basically not getting any coverage. Now the problem when you don't get coverage, i.e. when we're talking about coverage, is getting on top of the ball for compression this way, which means that you're de-lofting the club and getting more distance. And when we think about a tour player, think about how far they often hit an 8 iron, 7 iron, 6 iron, with not necessarily miles more club head speed than some of the amateurs I see. You know, we're talking some guys here off 5-6 handicap who are generating mid-90s club head speed, which is absolutely rapid, okay, but they're not able to get as much compression as a tour player. That tour player is hitting it 20 yards further, and that's because often they're not being able to get the compression, they're not hitting it with enough shaft lean here, so they're not taking the loft off it, and quite often I see that they aren't able to get the club coming in steep enough at impact. So what is actually quite often the root cause of all of this? What I see in a lot of players is when they get it to the top of the backswing right in here, they get this left wrist and it starts to cup. Once that wrist cups, the face opens. So if I get that wrist going this way, the face opens here, and now the shaft has gone really steep and my hands are back. So what I then have to do is tilt back underneath it, which gives me a shallow bottom, but it means that although I've still got quite a lot of speed because the club's coming in from the inside late, but I don't have any shaft angle because I've added loft onto the face, should I say, then I've shallowed it, which has tilted the face back even more, stayed back. Now we can see here, I've got a bit of shaft lean, but I've got a lot of loft on the club. So that was somebody who maybe has got almost tour level speed, is creating so much spin and height that it will really, really high, don't get the compression, and therefore aren't maximising the use of that golf club. What we're wanting to see is, when we're getting that club to the top, we know that from 3D, that all the players get this left wrist going from whether it's cupped, flat or bowed at the top, it increases its angle in this direction, where it's bowing, okay? So what we're looking at is from that top here, is once I start down, it can shallow back behind me with the bow here. So now it's shallow from there, then from there, turn. Now if I just make that movement, as you'd see from here, once we've got the club shallow in there, okay? And now from here, what I'll be able to do is turn. You see how much more forward the hands are, and now the loft is completely different. So I would categorize the two types of downswing. You've got a guy who's going from steep to shallow, or from shallow to steep. So shallow to steep means we get more coverage, we're gonna get a better ball flight, it's gonna come out with so much more compression on it and more power because they're still in the shot. When we talk about hitting the shot and covering the golf ball, what we're talking about is that on that way through, the chest is still over the ball as the body is rotating through. Now a really good simple drill to help you with this is like a 2-stage downswing. Don't expect to rip it straight away. Yeah? When I first started doing this drill, it takes me a few to really start to get the strike. So don't expect to go out and rip it. Manage your own expectation level when you're going out there and think, I've got to just get the feel for this movement to begin with. So what I would do is from setup right here, get myself into position. Once I'm very happy, I get it to the top, pause at the top, feel that the club's shallow, and then from there I'm going to turn and rotate through. So let's just give that a little go. Okay, I'm not, like I say, I'm not expecting great results. I'm not trying to look at distance. I'm just trying to get a feel for the movement. So to the top, feel it shallow, got the position, and then turning right through. So the idea is you're not looking at a great strike, you're looking at trying to feel a movement, okay? If you're on the grass, sometimes tee them up a little bit, just give yourself a bit of a feeling. It's not about trying to rip it, it's about getting the feeling for that shot. What I do, hit 1 or 2, really start to get the feel for the strike. And once you've got that, try and then hit some balls with it at a slightly slower speed and then build it into full motion. But as a drill, it's a great way to feel how that golf swing can work for you and how you can start to rotate on the way through. But the big takeaway is that it's at the top that it all starts to go wrong, where the club steepens rather than shallowing, which affects what then happens at impact. And effectively, the biggest outcome it has is what your club interaction with the ball is, therefore the ball flight that you see. Really hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If there's anything you'd like to see going forward, there's some topics on the swing that you think this is really key to helping me understand my movement and how I can get better at golf, comment below. Love to help you with it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again very soon.